Hi all, welcome. You're with QuorraBuilt, and for that I'm greatly appreciated. So today we're going to start the vlog and see just what I've been up to over the past couple of months, and we're going to have a look at what I've done for the day and what's coming up for this evening and also for the next day or two. So every day at around 6:30 I'm going to stop work and come and have a chat with you guys just so you can see what's happened for the day. I'll try and keep the videos to under or around 8 minutes, and yeah, I'll try and answer any questions that are in the comments. So basically I don't want to be able to spend all my time answering all the comments because I've got quite an amount of work to do on this bus. So having said that, I will try and do my best to accommodate any questions whilst we're going on this beautiful journey. But with doing all the electrical stuff, the battery building, the design, the structural, and pretty much everything, it doesn't leave me with a whole lot of spare time. So I'll do my best, and I suppose we'll start with what's going on. So today we've actually been installing and proofing this water wall. So basically the bus actually caught on fire a while back, and I was lucky to get away with a little bit of damage to the roof, which is no longer there because it was going anyway. But I've come up with this plan. I actually had the ISOs here. They were dropped off the day before, and what I didn't do is I didn't have it all set up, and I didn't have adequate fire protection, and we ended up with a fire brigade here, and you will see that in a video very soon. But yeah, not quite yet, so we're still working on that one. The time-lapse videos and stuff are very energy intensive and require a fair bit of editing and time. So that's sitting at around 1 terabyte of data or video that's been recorded for an 8-minute video. So we've condensed about 1 month of work into that one. So why have I done a water wall, and what is it for? So basically this wall here has been created because I do have a laser cleaning unit which is going to do the whole chassis of the bus. And so I need to make sure that the stray laser is not going to go through this material, which is Hessian, and I had to rework it due to basically not having this side very wet at all. So you can see where the sprinklers are blocked up. I need to put a filter on the bottom of the sump pump in the ISO containers. And to get it to wick through, basically all I've done is I've chucked up, basically clamped the two pieces of mesh together. So with the two of them, you're basically looking directly at the sun now. So there's no light coming through that, which is really good. It means that I'm going to protect anyone that's in the area, because a class 4 laser can actually cause quite a bit of harm. So that's what I've been up to today. I've filled up the ISO container. I won't switch video here, it's a bit awkward. So fill out that ISO container. We're nearly down. We've done about 600 litres from about 11 o'clock, and I had this side wetting, the long side, and then that back side was ready at about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock by the time I finished that. And so yeah, we're at that 600 mark now. It's about 6:30. So there is 4 of these that are connected together. So I won't be running out of water anytime soon, and I just pump them with bore water in the mornings or evenings. So depending on wind warnings, it's the 3rd time I've actually built that side. We had a few dramas. We ended up with a few extra stays on it, and yeah, so basically we ended up with these extra stays on here, back to the ISO container corner. and that just gives stability that way, is to stop any flex in the water wall. So I gave Hessian a bit of a test with some fire, and I found out that it is very flammable, so we need to make sure that it does wet out properly. Make sure that if we do touch anything, it's not going to catch on fire. So there's a sprinkler missing up there, so, and the one at the corner is kind of a little bit blocked as well, so not too concerned about that at all. It will work. I've got the ability to change that. We're at basically 9 minutes off at the moment, 1 minute on. I can change that right up to flat out all the time on. So we're going to find a nice happy balance where we're not sucking through the water. I guess you really want to hear about the bus. What is the plans with this guy? So basically it is going to be an electric vehicle. So it is most certainly being stripped back. I did have a period of time where I did some work under the bus whilst it was all covered and that, and basically it come to my attention that it needed a little bit more than just some stuff under that. The sides were going to come off it. It is a lot more rust in the sides than I had anticipated, like a lot more rust. Oop. The camera's trying to follow me. So, oh, we've lost me. There we go. So basically, we have to do these side rails. So that's going to be the first mission when we start doing the chassis. Like this. There's just nothing. There's nothing left of it. It's actually kind of sketchy just how unattached this is. I'm not sure if you can actually see that on the video, but it is most certainly not attached in this section here anymore. So we've lost the structural integrity of that beam there all the way along. So this basically supports the transition from the weight to the front to the back. So the engineer gave me some strange looks when he had a look at it. He was like, whoa. But being a steel fabricator, that's not such a big deal for me. Here is, just so you know, where the diesel tanks were originally. They were about 700 kilos in total, with fuel, plus the weight of them. So it's closer to about a ton sitting in this location. And I had jumped between putting the batteries in along this section on the bottom here, but it would put too much weight over the steering axle. So the battery weight will be around 2.5 ton without the frame, without the cooling plates, without any fluids or anything like that. So it's going to edge closer towards the 3 ton mark. So I really would love to have stuck it over the top in the back here, but there's just space over the actual axles for it to go. So it's going to go where the diesel tank is. And to do that, we're going to shift this frame forward about 150 mil to make enough space. So I'm going to go 4 batteries across, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to go 47 deep on each one of them. And we're going to go 7 high. And it will slot in underneath the frame there. Bus bar was going to go through the center of the frame where the original walkway was. So we're going to cap that off. We might even widen it. We'll just have a look at see how much room we've got in there. And then the bus bars are going to run from this section here all the way back to the back where the motor is going to be. We've kept the original gearbox, and that's currently off and pulled apart to be rebuilt. So he's going to get basically where you can see the underneath the light there. There's the bolt hanging down. So that is the original, basically the original where the original gearbox is. So it's kind of cool that the gearbox is literally, the bell housing is actually bigger than what the electric motor is. So when I'm making the adapter plate and designed it up, it looks so strange because the electric motor is actually smaller. And from that, we're moving from 1 ton-ish, or just shy of 1 ton for that Detroit diesel motor, to 50 kilos. So we're losing a ton for the diesel tanks, and we're losing a ton for the Detroit diesel. So there's 2 ton already. Not to mention there is nearly a ton of seats that have been removed out of these. They're not that light, these seats. And then this bus had a capacity of around 6 ton. So the GVM was, I think it was 14.5, and then the GVM was, it was 20.5. But with the new laws that are coming in the eastern states, so we'll be building towards eastern state codes, it means that the axle class, I will have to drop this down 500 kilos when I register it. As soon as I go across that border, I have to meet, just kind of made me jump, it's kicked back in again. And we go for another cycle. So I'm going to put another couple of points on where the water's coming from, because I've actually got 4 outputs there, so I'm going to split it across so we get a little bit more water pressure coming through. And I want to go in that very far corner. And then tomorrow I'm going to be putting the water boom along here, and I will also be putting the structure over to that other ISO tank over there. And then we will also be putting the screen across here. So once that's completed, I'm happy with how it's set up. We can actually start doing the hot works on this vehicle, which means all of these skins are coming off. Every single part that is welded is going to come off. All this, everything. And I'm doing that because I want to make sure that this is 100% going to last 40 years. So this is pretty much how I roll. Is I want to make sure that the people after me end up not suffering for the lack that I have done, or caused any harm or something correctly. So everything I'm doing and that is going to, everyone in the area is safe with this vehicle on the road. There's adequate protections, the individual self-using in the parallel, and make sure that the BMS and everything is worthy for where we are. I'll go for a wander up in here. It's a bit of I need to put a step in here. Oh, there's not much left. I've got a little bit of stuff in the front here to remove. The chair, the steering wheel, and everything's out. A few of these boards, we're just getting the jack under them and we're just popping them up from the bottom. Is the easiest way to get them off. If anyone ever is removing those, is just put the jack underneath them and just press up, especially if you go to air jack, they will come off. And you don't have to find the screws in the ground. And you can see the roof was in very poor condition. I knew this when I walked through it. I knew that it was definitely going to be a problem. I'm just going to switch cameras. So with the back of the bus gone, the floor is actually in not too bad of a condition. Most of this will be salvageable, so a lot of this framework's actually going to stay. I'll just knock all these off and fill the holes up. Knock these screws off. The outside obviously is going to have to get a fair bit of work and repair. The whole lattice beams on both sides. We're going to smooth off this back section. We're going to go flat out. So because we don't have this big old Detroit diesel up in here anymore, we get to flatten this off. Engineer's happy with that. I'm going to copy the lattice beam off this side, and we're going to shrink that hole up on that side. And there's a potential to put a tail lift in the back here, because this rear end's going to be music studio. So we're going to look at doing something with that. So just give you a view back here. I've got a little bit more of this roof to remove. I could have probably done it before I pulled before we pulled the sides up and stuff. So does anybody want a television? Because that is awesome. And then this section here, we've got to keep this pillar in the same shape. We've got to keep that, and we've got to keep the whole front end exactly the same as it was structurally. And this is something that the engineer has come and said to me, is like, you have to do this, because if you do anything else, it's no longer an old vehicle. So anywhere the passengers sit has to be the same. So that's what we're going to do. The front shape is going to be different. We're just going to build off of the same shape, and we're going to change the front shape. So I'm going to have a chat with him because I'd like the front windscreen to actually sit forward a little bit when we put the roof on for the solar. So that's pretty much where we're at. We won't go too much more. I'll try and cover a bit more each day because this video's already going to be the longest one. Whoa! And the camera just went crazy. All right. So basically that's front, how we're sitting now. And yeah, sorry, this one's a little bit longer than anticipated, but just gives you a view around once more without me in the shot. You can just see just how much rust is in these side panels. So they're forward, keeping the shape. Everything else we're going to end up with straight uprights and stuff as we're going along. And this back here, yeah, this whole beam, we've got the steel over there to replace. Water wall is working fantabulous. We are definitely in the middle of summer here, so we want to make sure that we're not causing any bushfires and protecting everything. Engine still being worked on, so yeah, these will probably get shifted forward a little bit, and then a new engine mount on the side or something coming off. It's yet to be determined. That you can just see just how much rust was in this back end. I just kicked that with my foot and it just come down. So, and this hole was cut out just so I could lift the motor. So, like, because I knew it was all coming apart, and we just cut some beams out the back as well. So, I don't to get in from underneath. So, we just went with what we could. Take you over the shed, and I'll show you what's going on in there, and what I'll be up to tonight. All right, so inside the shed, we've got a little setup here going on. This is my pile of things to laser clean. So I've got all these plates that go over. They basically go over the rubber bushings on these control arms. So these are some control arms that need to still be done. I need to get these out because they need surfacing in here. So I'm going to have some slightly oversized bush, and we're going to take like one or two, probably about 1 mil off the inside of these just to smooth them off, so we don't chew out bushes. And then I've got the laser cleaner here, it's covered over, and you get to see a video on that at some stage as well. But these are basically the trunnions, and you can see that so these are going to be rebuilt. And the reason why we're rebuilding those is because the same thing, I don't want the bushes to wear out, and pad welding and grinding and flapping 22 of those is not practicable. So we've got a workshop that's going to be doing that for us. And then what we've done is we've laser cleaned this whole unit. I'm in the middle of, I've got another video there, just a quick guide on some bits and pieces. I've got a weld in here that's been dug out, and the other side has been removed. And if we have a look over here, you can see I've laid a couple of stringers in there on both sides. So I actually had a crack in it. So this is the tag axle as well, just so we're aware of what we're looking at. And all right. Down here we've got the pistons for the bottom of the airbags. Some of them have been repaired. Like I've actually pad welded and ground them, and the ones with the studs on them. The one without the stud was the front one, so it's actually still got some pitting in it, so I've got to go around and spend probably about half a day on that, so but that's not tonight's issue or where we're at. The other thing I've got to do is get the hub assemblies off of the front axle and the main drive axle, because these here are basically where they have a pin that goes through and that operates the brake. So the bushes need replacing in those. So the same, I've got the new pins, but the bushes need doing. So I might as well do them while it's out before it gets painted. And that's what's going on in the shed, and you can see some of these over here which have been laser cleaned. So I've got to get those ready, and I've got to get these are a priority, so I can get them off to the workshop, and then I can start getting some stuff out and painted, like this axle. And the same company's doing the trunnions rebuild on these, so I need to make sure I get all the stuff to them so they can do that for me. And yes, that's about it. This one here is actually pretty good in here, so I'll probably just give it a little tickle with a bit of a sand or something and smooth it off a bit, but it's not too bad. It's probably one of the best ones, so I'm not going to touch that one. And that's basically a rundown of what's going on in the workshop at the moment. We'll leave it there. I'll try and catch up over the next couple of days and get everybody up to speed on where we are at, and I won't go too far. We're actually going to drop out the microphone. I need to build a little backpack so I can basically talk and walk around a bit more. So I'll have to keep moving the home base for this this microphone I've got. So thanks for tuning in, and feel free. The socials are in the video links. Feel free to add on there, and if you feel like it, subscribe. If there's something you want to see more of, see the videos, how things are progressing. I'm just going to try not to do too much instructional stuff. It's just going to be more wrap-ups and how we're doing each day. So appreciate your efforts and tuning in, and thanks for watching.